They've been working on the old Alvis again, and it's more or less ready to go. The big problem they were having was with this rear wheel, which the bearings needed replacing, and that's sorted now after a couple of false starts. Well, firstly doing it wrong, and secondly damaging the bearing, that is. So anyway, they got that's all together, and it's got no play in it whatsoever now. And in the back end, I probably showed this before, the battery's been relocated, it's been resprayed around it now, and the fuel tank is being replaced with a, well, it's actually a used one from the scrapyard, which fits in there perfectly, more or less. So it did have to be modified a bit. Then the brakes, well, they work. There is some braking effect there, and the handbrake holds. And the front brakes, well, they're not brilliant, but they're better than they were. Handbrakes on the side, that works. What else is going on? Oh, they've been working on the fuel gauge, but since it isn't connected up, that's that rather ridiculously large pointer up above the upper left of the steering wheel. So I don't really know why that isn't working, except it, well, they're hoping that the new float and everything inside there will work, but it doesn't seem to want to work. Well, there must be a way to make it work, you would have thought. But I just thought I'd take a bit of video because it's sort of, they've left it exposed, because you usually have a sheet on it. I don't like to take it out. But anyway, it's been in here for 9 weeks, but they've only actually spent maybe 3 or 4 half days really actually working on it. And they've done actually more than that. I keep thinking new things they've done. The radiator is a bit of a problem area. It seems to be leaking, or it's losing water somewhere, but it might be the water pump. And when they've had it running, and it actually runs almost like a sewing machine, except it's got quite a loud exhaust. The middle one of those, like bell-mouth carbs, we think that float was stuck because the cylinders, it's a 6-cylinder inline, the cylinders that supplies were simply not firing, so it was running, but on 2 of them weren't running, I suppose. Anyway, and then there was another, this thing here, that's the fuel pump, or rather fuel pumps, and the one nearest to me was leaking around this gasket here. So that's all it is, it needs a gasket. But apparently, provided you aren't wanting like maximum 150 mile an hour speeds, you can manage with just the one. So they've simply disconnected the power to it, and surprisingly it's running just the same at like modest speed, because it was this was dripping onto here and then dripping down here right by those very hot exhausts, so that wasn't really ideal, was it? So really it is coming together. That what else is it? I think that's about it, to be honest. The seats are still to put in. That's really quite simple. And they've taken off a bit of the wood trim, and annoyingly I see the split it there. It's not my annoyance, but I could see that happening, because they needed to get that off so they could try and work on this fuel gauge. One of the little tries was they found that cap, which looks like it was made for it, and it fits that in the dashboard. Nothing else been done in there. It's all a bit weird, really. The various things don't really work. I don't know if they ever did work, and it's very well supplied with little lights, but it's not very clear why. There's at least four little lights on the dashboard, and the on the left there, that button, that's the choke, but it's not even connected up. So when you start it, it's a little bit of a reluctant starter, and it smokes when it's cold. But once it was running and warmed up, it really burns quite cleanly. There was virtually no smoke, so you can't really complain about that. Although you might complain about the fuel consumption. Anyway, that's about it really. So since it's on shore, as it were, I'll just take a photo of it as well, I think, while I'm here.